Welcome to the Coach and Coach podcast. Oh man, we got a show for you tonight. So glad to be here to share it with you. That guy right beside me. That guy is the offensive guru. The man with the plan. You give him a defense, he will tear it down every time. He is our offensive coordinator. He is Coach Benji. And I'm the old dusty, non-wearing headset. Don't know nothing but two defenses, a 3-4 and a 5-2. I'm your defensive coordinator. I am Coach Marks, and we make up the Coach and Coach podcast. Make sure you hit that follow button. Tell a friend, and tell another friend that the Coach and Coach podcast is on right now, and you don't want to miss tonight's show. Coach, man, how was it going today, brother?
Well, we're easing into Masters weekend, man. I've been keeping up with round one of the Masters, and
Haven't watched it since you left, buddy.
man, it's so whether the bird chirping is real or pumped in, whether they spray paint some of the grass, all the things you hear. But it is a tradition unlike any other. It's the official. It's not even the unofficial. It is the official start of spring.
Kick off the spring, huh?
One of the greatest weekends there is on a Sunday, man. You pull the grill out, and when you're not grilling, you're just napping in a chair. I mean, you can't beat it. So,
Coach,
life is good, man.
Couldn't go to one, man. They walk too much, man. It's too much walking. I had to stand up yesterday, man. We had a track meet yesterday. And Coach, I was doing the long jump pit, place you remember, Potts Camp, as we messed up a lot of people on high jump that time. Coach, I think I squatted probably 500 squats. I felt it this morning, brother. I don't understand. We got to find another way in high school track, because I am not a good judge, man. My filter's gone. People were irritating me. I heard somebody was right beside me. That's a scratch. And I spazzed out. I said, I'm the judge over here. Before I knew it, Coach, I'd already spazzed out, man. So we might need to work on getting some better judges, because I'm not a good one. But man, when I say wore out, brother, you know how track meets are. And
they'll wear you out.
Man, they will wear you out. But we do like to welcome everybody to tonight's show, Thursday night. We got a little talking to do tonight. We got a special guest that we're gonna bring to you tonight. Man, we are looking forward to this, and we want y'all to join us. We want you to join us every time we're on, but especially on Thursday night. We're gonna have a surprise for you every Thursday night. But tonight we got something for you, and we are so ready to jump into this. Let me go ahead and let him in. And maybe he'll hit all of his devices and get on. But can't do no intro. Man, let me work on my intro, Coach. I've been working on this today, man. All right, we want to welcome to the show Bruce High School legend, 2013 2A Offensive Player of the Year. The Mississippi High School Athletic Association Division IV Class 2A Player of the Year. Super 24 corner as a junior led Bruce Trojans to 4 consecutive playoff berths. He then went on to Boonville and played with the Northeast Tigers, earning NJCAA All-American honors as a return man, as a freshman, first team All-Region wide receiver, led the team his freshman year with 39 catches and 538 yards. When he went on to West Alabama, coach in 2016, he was an All-Gulf South Conference All-Region All-American, led the conference with 91 catches and 904 yards in his first year there. He was also on ESPN Top 10 Plays of the Week his senior year, coach. I know I'm rolling right now. He led the team in conference with 76 catches and 950 yards, led the team with 1,325 purpose yards. Man, I'm out of breath, but we like to welcome to the show none other than Mr. Tae Armstrong.
It's a blessing, man. I'm excited to be on the show with y'all today, man. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Did I do it right? Did I say it right?
You said it right.
Hey, I'm out of breath though, brother. That's a lot of stuff to go under, man. But man, we glad to have you on the show tonight, man. And long time coming. We just been trying to get everything together, and I ain't finna let you and Ben just sit there and talk about y'all old times. I'm gonna ask the question tonight, and I want y'all to answer. I'm gonna interview both of y'all because y'all ain't finna get out on me. I'm gonna ask the questions tonight. But man, we do appreciate you chatting with us tonight, man. And we ain't on no time frame. You ain't got to get done and so at such and such time. We're gonna cover everything that we need to cover. And man, once again, we appreciate you. And let me break this down before we go into questions, Coach. Me and you talked about something, Coach, here the other night, and you was watching the 1991
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Trojan versus Taylorsville, and you brought up a player, and it made me go into something. So to lead us into our first question, Mr. Tae Armstrong. When you think about the Armstrong legacy, now we're just gonna talk about football. We ain't gonna talk about no other sport right now. We're just gonna talk about football. So any Armstrongs that listen today, don't go calling me and texting me talking about, well, they played softball and somebody played basketball. We are talking about football tonight. So before I get to my first question, let me break it down to you, Coach. I'm gonna break it down. I worked on this, Tay, so you gotta work on it. This is just coming from Mr. Clinton and Miss Ruthie Armstrong, just their lineage, Coach. I'm finna show you how legacy is created. Now, let me break it down to you, and then we're gonna get to the first question. Oh man, I'm on the road tonight, man. I told you I've been working on this stuff. I've been working on this tree all day long.
I told you, Coach. You just drive the car. I'm gonna fall in line. Just go ahead and do your thing.
And Tay, I want you to hear this, because I don't think you even really paid attention to this, but I want you to hear this. Let me get, because I left out a name. I had to text somebody because I had forgot somebody's name. I didn't want to leave nobody's name out because that'll be wrong. Let me get to it. Let's see. I got it right here. All right, Mr. Clinton and Miss Ruthie. They had. I ain't finna say how many kids they had. We just gonna name kids, okay? We're gonna start off with CL, the Clinton Armstrong Jr. Now, I'm just going to name the names that produce other football players. Now, if I miss somebody in the chat, man, y'all just tell me you missed this name and that name, and we'll get it right. But Mr. Clinton, he had Tim, who played, who I made 36 famous, and he went ahead and I let him wear it. That's why he was in 26 in that playoff game. You had Tim. You had Billy Wayne. He played. Now, I'm going to name three other names. That's the reason why I'm going to name the name now. You got Hannah. You got Jack, and you got Clinton Bay. We call him Bay. Tim produced Tyreek Gunn, Armstrong lineage. Hannah produced Jonathan and Roman. Jack Ann produced Monte. Now we got our first 4 generation. You got Bay, who produced Jasmine. Jasmine produced J.D. Glaspie, current Trojan football player, 4th generation Armstrong. Let's keep it going. You got Elton Armstrong. He had Percy, Roger, Tyrone, and he had, I couldn't think of his other son name who played right before y'all. I couldn't think of his name. And I was researching, I want to say his name was Elton too, but I'm not sure. But I think he played before y'all. But Roger had Zay, who played with y'all. Tyrone had Jalen, who played in Kansas City, and I think he went on to play, I think somewhere in Alabama. He played somewhere. Then you got, we'll get to Clarence in a minute. We ain't gonna go Clarence right now. We'll get to Clarence in a minute. You had Jesse Paul. Well, he had Stan. Stan Armstrong played at Cal City. Now you go to Emma Armstrong. She had Lisa. She had Maylene. She had Sinatra. And she had Brenda. Why am I calling their name? Well, Lisa had the legendary Ski Wee Bo. Mr. Terrell himself. Ski Wee Bo. He had James Fred Gator. There you go. Another 4th generation Armstrong on the current team. Lisa also had Kenny. Kenny had Maury Armstrong, who played at Bruce. Vanessa Justice. She had Zay, who is now currently playing college football in Texas. Maylene. Well, I know I'm rolling tonight. Y'all ain't got to say nothing. Maylene. She had Gary Moe, who played on that undefeated team that lost in the North Half Championship. Sinatra Armstrong. He had Sinatra Stevens and Trey Armstrong. And then Brenda, she had Munn. So let's keep it going. Gene Jane Vaughn, she had Greg Vaughn. Now, you go to Pot. Pot had girls. She had Landa, she had Heather, and she had Neva. Landa had Anthony. State championship, Calhoun City. Heather had Tyrone Jr., played at Bruce High School. We're talking about football now. You had Icy Shaw. She had Frank Shaw Jr. Frank Shaw was the father of Marcus Stevens, my classmate who played at Bruce High School. You had Buck Shaw, who's also the son of Icy. He had LaDwan Pratt, who, if we wouldn't have hurt the quarterback in 99, he wouldn't have got in and messed up the game for us. Because when he got in, we couldn't catch him. You go to Johnny Armstrong. I didn't want to go through all Johnny kids. I got confused. I got lost. But you got Jamal, you got Ant Neal, and you had Jeremy. Ant Neal and Jeremy played in Council City. Jamal played at Bruce. Jamal had Jay. Ant Neal had Jay Moore and Taurus, who both played at Council City. John Earl had Meaty, and then let's go to Clarence Armstrong. Clarence Armstrong had Carlos, and Carlos had Tae Armstrong and Raheem Robertson. And all of a sudden, we're talking to one of the lineages. Tae, I want to ask you a question, man. Did that name scare you when you was coming up?
No, it did not. It did not scare me at all. We just had to live up to the expectation that the legacy will pass down from generation to generation.
So, because I know a lot of players that ran from that was that name. They ran from that name. They didn't want nobody to know that, hey, my daddy was this, and this. And some people, and now here you are, you got a son that's probably going to be playing football. The next fourth generation, that's the fourth generation. Do he know the expectation? Because sometimes that expectation can be a little bit much for people.
As of right now, he not quite understanding, but we have talked about it, about him playing football. At first he wasn't, I coached the Grizzlies, so I try to get him out there with me, what I'm saying, so I can prepare him how is it going to go. But I got him out there with the 9 and 10. He looked great, you know what I'm saying? Then after that, he wasn't feeling it. So he got back to his swing of T. That's on the mound. You know what I'm saying? I applaud him for that. I always tell him I would never force you to do anything you don't want to do. Now, since he finna grade and come to the 7th grade, he pulled me to the side. He like, Pops, I'm gonna try it out. I was like, which one? Football or basketball? He said, football. So I said, yes. Now, because he fall into my fields of shoes, now I can be able to teach him and train him how I want to teach him and train him. He don't have to go to nobody else to get the proper training. I can be his blueprint and show him how the way to get it done. So
my question for the both of y'all, because both of y'all are going to have kids playing football next year. Well, crap, all three of us. And I think about it, I forgot about Drew is playing. But how do you navigate not going? Because right now, my mind, I got to keep my oldest son away from my middle son because I'm afraid he's going to drive him away from football. He's already excited to get him going. How do y'all get to the point to where you can balance that thing out to where you don't drive them away from it? Because you have to adjust to the generation that you're in.
Well, for me, I'm kind of like what Tay said. Like I'm not going to force you to do anything. You know, if you want help or you want to know something, you come to me and I'll help you in any way I can. And me and Braxton were doing some stuff, and I realized like I got to talk in simple terms and keep it basic and get understand that he's a 6th grader going into 7th grade. So, I pretty much just do it as, he's been pretty good about it. Like, if you come to me, I'm here to help, but I'm not going to force you to do anything, because if you're not really into it, that's going to probably make me mad, and then it's going to drive you further away, like you said. So I think that's kind of the best way to be.
For me, it's like I with B, it's just his passion. He want to try new things, so I let him with his own option. But coming from the football standpoint, I'm gonna have to coach him from a far distance instead of being right there with him. You get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
me being right there with him,
yeah.
I know what I'm gonna see. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna be ready to correct him right then, right there. You go. So I have to, you know what I'm saying, let him go through it himself. Then let him come to me and ask the question. Then I will be able to pursue him and push him, you know what I'm saying, to the next level of understanding the type of knowledge and learning when it comes to football. You get what I'm saying? Because he's so used to swinging the bat, swinging the bat, swinging the bat. You know, so now he finna get to the format of, hey, 28 toss, 38 toss, that, what's this, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Now he got to learn the 2-hole, 4-hole, 6-hole, 8-hole. So now I can be able to, you know what I'm saying, navigate that privately, you know what I'm saying, one by one, you know what I'm saying, just me and him individually, just behind the scene, going through it step by step. So that's how I navigate. That's how I'm gonna navigate it this year, watching him going to the 7th grade.
My situation is going to be a little bit different because I got coaches that I got to deal with. And being the athletic director here, I don't want coaches feeling like they got to put my son in. And, I made jokes with him. I'll be like, the first time he miss a ball and he's still in the game, I'm going to fire y'all. I mean, just making little jokes and let them know that, look, but I'm with you with that. I've even told them, I said, usually I'm on the sidelines. That's where I be at. I said, but this year, junior high games, I got to get in the stands. I got to get in the stands. Even in basketball, I told Coach Gladney, I will be in the stands. I'll be over there sitting by my sister. I cannot because I will be too tempted.
Mhm.
And I don't want him, I want him to come to me, but during that game, I'm not your coach. You need to listen to your coach. We can fix anything else. And the advantage I got over y'all is I've been on this road before. The only difference is I wasn't coaching. I wasn't coaching at the time, but I've been on this road. And Trail, who's the same, y'all played all together. Trail used to have a habit of when he made a mistake, he would look in the stands. And it took one time for me just yelling at him like, ain't no coach up here. I just blew up on him because I needed him to understand, I can't have you during the game looking up there trying to get some instruction because if you ain't got it, I can't fix it while you going through this game. And that's the advantage I probably have on y'all is that I've walked it. But the thing is, things are different now. I know that I'm probably, and I think that's why Trail is so, to have kids that where the gap is that deep, that long, that Trail is having more of a father figure when it comes to Drew than Big Brother, and with me, I know I'm not going to have the same passion. Ain't the word, but I know I'm gonna be different than I was when I was bringing my oldest boy up because everything was military when it came to it. You got you finna do this, and now I got that approach because Drew is 22 pounds soaking wet. And I'm just like, man, I know where I want you to play, but son, you just ain't got it to be there right now. And that's where I'm trying to understand. And my question to you when it comes to that is, how do you navigate because right now we're in a day and age where parents feel like they know everything. No matter what you do, they think they know it better. How are you going to be able, how do you navigate to, okay, I'm going to handle this without undermining his coach, or I just got to get him out of here?
Who's for me? Well, I would say for me, I've been in that situation. As a coach, you understand how that can be sometimes. Um, you know, I think that I think there's certain ways you handle it, and for me, if I'm at the ballpark, I'm dad. First and foremost, like I'm gonna be there cheering the team on, everything, and then behind closed doors, and it may be different because I'll know his coaches, but I you kind of see you're gonna understand what a coach like. What you're looking at, so you understand what a coach is wanting, and I think it's important to kind of reinforce what you see there and not say no, we're gonna do it this way that could totally contradicts it if that makes sense.
Now, Tay, with you is different between me and Benji because you did it on a high level.
Right.
You did it on a level that we haven't saw. You see it with LeBron and his kids. You see it with Carlos Boozer and his kids. You see it with Kenya Martin and his son. You saw it or didn't see it with Michael Jordan and his kids. With you having, because most of the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, tell you probably got more knowledge than half of the coaches that your son is going to play for. How do you navigate that in order to not? Because the moment I was listening to Jeff Teague the other day. Jeff Teague was talking about this. He said he knew his dad knew more than the coaches he was playing for. So when a coach says something, it'd be like, man, I'm gonna listen to my daddy. And he's like, my daddy know more than y'all. Tay, you're gonna know more than us. How do you navigate through that right there? Because this is new territory.
First thing foremost, you gotta let the coach be the coach. You gotta let the coach do his job. That's what he signed up for. That's what he been doing for consecutive years. You gotta let the coach do his job. Now, I will applaud my son. Like, first thing, you gonna be coachable. You gotta be coachable. Because whatever your coach telling you, he telling you that for a reason. Now you come to me on the back end for advice. Yes, I'm gonna give you the knowledge that you're gonna hear it, you're gonna know, and you're gonna understand. It might be a different terminology from your coaching standpoint, because the higher I got in life and football, the more of the knowledge it made sense. You know what I'm saying? It made sense to me. It slowed every process down, from thinking strategy to the IQ to everything across the board. So with that being said, I always would tell Bryson, hey, listen to your coach. Like, your coach come first, then you come to your dad. That's like with his travel ball. Last Saturday, he struck out 3 times. Every time he came to the sideline, he kept looking at me. I said, no, focus, focus, focus. Every time he looked at me, he started to tear up because he wanted to prove something to me. You know what I'm saying? I told him, you ain't got nothing to prove to me. I know what you're capable of doing. Do it for your coach, do it for your teams. But every time he came out to the dugout, he looked directly to that field. You know what I'm saying? Saw me sitting there. And I just condoned. I said, you all right, it's part of baseball. You gonna hit some, you ain't gonna hit some. But keep that same positive mentality that you have, that you always carry when you keep playing. So that's one thing I'm gonna navigate. Just let the coaches be the coaches. Then you come to me for the advice.
Well, I'm gonna let the coaches know, let them know we in good shape, man. We got parents that's gonna let y'all coach. We in good shape. Coach, I tell you, I got some high school question for him. Benji gonna hit that college area for you because he got some stuff that I want to hear your response to. But my thing is with you, what stood out the most for you as far as high school? What stood out the most? Like when you think about high school ball, what always come to your mind all the time?
Um, Man, it was just the competitive level. You know what I'm saying? Back in our era, we had a great competitive level. Every Friday, you gonna meet somebody that's that deal. That Friday, you might play Chris Jones. The next following week, you might play Derrick Jones. The next following week, you might play Quinn Lane. It's the competition, you know what I'm saying, that I remember the most, because every game is gonna be a great game from all 4 quarters. And now, you know what I'm saying? Just looking back from our era to this era, it's different. The competitive level is different, it ain't that dog that's supposed to be there. You get what I'm saying? Like when you walking up through the white lines on Friday nights, it's showtime. No matter who you line up across, it's showtime. It's showtime. That's what I miss the most of the competitive level about the high school level.
Follow up with that, Benji? That kind of some. Well, you got me. What year is this? I mean, what month is this? It ain't time for football yet, is it? God, dog. Well, I got a question that people want to know, and I got lured into this, Coach Benji. They kind of blame me too. Your senior year, y'all moved, and you had an opportunity to play in Calhoun City. Why did you choose to stay at Bruce?
To be honest, I didn't feel like me personally. I feel like me running from a situation wouldn't have made me better. I feel like I've been chasing something. I didn't want to chase it. I want to earn it. I wanted to compete. I want to play against the best. I didn't want to play with the best. I want to play against the best. And that's the reason why I did not choose to go to Cal City because I wanted to beat them guys. I wanted to end the streak. I was that close of ending the streak.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. But, that's the main reason why I did not go to Cal City, because I didn't want to join a power team. You know what I'm saying? That had guys all around the board. You had Kill, you had LeVar, you had Brighton, you had Carter McBride, you had all those guys. Even though I would have fit in well with them guys,
Yeah, you would have.
but I wanted to compete and beat them guys. That's the main reason why I did not go to Kansas City my senior year. On top of that, your son, he threw some positive advice into me, like, bro, that thug is out together, and that's what we did, and I'm glad we did that.
He threw some positive advice. He
Yeah,
was thinking about going somewhere else too. What is he? Man, I
but
tell you, boy, people will do stuff. He would think he had Coffeyville on his mind. Jamal was trying to get him to come to Coffeyville.
yeah,
My
but we
auntie,
both talked about it though. We
my
both
auntie
talked
stayed
about it.
on the county line, and I said, well, you can go, you can go stay there. That joker was finna go to Coffeyville. Boy, I tell you. And now
No,
all of
we
a sudden
talked
he wants you
about
to
it.
thug it out now.
We talked about it. We just wanted we both decided to thug it out together in Bruce, and I'm glad we did. That was the best decision of our life. We did nobody expect us to make it farther than we did that year. Because
I mean,
we
losing the seniors that y'all lost, Benji using that class that made it to the North half, and Derek Jones. But to lose all of them and for y'all to come back and do what you did, and basically was just a couple of plays away from you know making history. Um, the season, and then you had to. I do remember that you had to crawl into the playoffs because that last game was win or go home against Oklahoma. It was win or go home, and I remember the East Webster game, which probably that's the game that stands out to me the most. That was the game that was the first time that I said this kid has taken a team and said, get on my shoulders. Now we seen you made plays, we seen you play, but the East Webster game for me was the time I said, I saw you say, y'all get on my shoulders. I'm finna take you to this championship. I'm finna take you to this win. And you did just that in that game. And man, it was remarkable. Another question, what game to this day, and I floated some around in my mind, and I told Benji that as well. What game right now still bugs you to this day?
no half right now. No half. No half. We had the perfect game plan executed. That give it flowers. Derrick Jones, he's one great player, man. That guy, he was that deal in high school.
When I saw Shad could not cut, when he struck out and Shad couldn't cover the ground, I said, this boy fast.
Yeah.
Because I never saw anybody. He didn't pull away from Shad, but they ran down like this. I said, Shad can't catch him. That was the first time I saw that in his career.
Yeah, there's no half. No half. The game that still bugged me to the day. Because we supposed to blew them guys out the water. They ain't have no chance.
Last play, I heard different stories. Last play. What happened on the last play?
We called face team. I think Rashad didn't get the call, I think he didn't get the number.
What happened to receivers looking at the other one and telling them the number?
At that point of stake, everybody wanted to rock. Everybody wanted to rock that.
Because you took us all the way down.
Yeah.
It was post choice all the way down the field.
Correct.
And I've never saw a ball hang so long.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, what are we looking at? And I turned around, I see Shy stop. I said, oh, man. Oh, man. My heart dropped after that. But that was
it took me 5 years to ask him. Because I knew my nephew he's not very emotional, but that play right there, I was very careful of when I finally asked him what happened. And it took me 5 years to ask him what happened because I knew that game broke him. That game broke his heart because he always felt like it was him. And it took me, like I said, it took me 5 years to ask him what happened. And just to hear that. And Benji, you was on that same team. Um, them last games, they do it to you. But I do have one more question on the high school level, and then I'm gonna let Benji ask a couple of college. I got a couple of college too, but you got to do something that not very many people. Well, no, let me change that. Nobody since 1991 been able to do. You played in a state championship game. Not only that, you played in the state championship game with your brother. But what led to that was the North Half Championship. Walk us through what happened in that championship, in those last minutes of that North Half Championship game.
Somebody Baldwin.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was just I don't know, man. It was just an unreal moment, man. It was Coach Burt. He was calling some heck of some plays. Like we never ran
And
like
he still
plays.
do.
We never ran plays like that. Dealing with Coach Young, dealing with the girls that year, boys and girls. When the girls went to that North Half game and Coach Burt took on us, like just playing with my brother, man, it was an unreal moment because that's somebody I grew up with. You get what I'm saying? That's somebody I wanted to compete against. You know what I'm saying? We did compete. You get what I'm saying? Because I felt like my brother was better than me. You get what I'm saying? In football and basketball. And I think that what rose me into my competitive level, wanting to compete even harder against anybody. You get what I'm saying? Because like my brother, he started playing high school in 8th grade. He hit a buzzer beater against West Point in Vardaman. You get what I'm saying? Don't nobody know that. It just I keep all them memories in my head because I wanted to pursue, you know what I'm saying, and see what that felt like. And I did that, you know what I'm saying, as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? I hit 2 buzzer beaters in Baldwin against William Sullivan, then I beat it in Count City, and for that moment, you know what I'm saying, the head and having 2 buzzer beaters, you know what I'm saying, while playing with my brother, it was unreal. It was a great moment for us and for my mom, you know what I'm saying, because she was always there with us, My granddad as well.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, if you don't include him, I'm telling you right now, I'm going ahead and give my disclaimer right now.
yeah,
You
yeah,
would have left him out. I
nah,
would have blamed all of that on you, son. You wouldn't have
nah.
had our show on. You wouldn't have had our show on standby. Nobody.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you better.
Yeah, plus my granddad, man, he was always big on, you know what I'm saying, bragging on us, you know what I'm saying? He still to this day, you know what I'm saying? Now he bragging on his other grandson, Bug Pittman, you know what I'm saying? So it's just to fulfill his needs and dreams, you know what I'm saying? See how happy he be when we come around, we all can talk about sports. It's unreal.
And what I love about that, even though we started off the show talking about the Armstrong legacy, your family on your mother's side, you starting your own legacy. I mean, you played, your brother played, your sister just played in the National Junior College Championship, and your cousin Bug is going on to play. So now you're starting your own legacy. How does that feel, knowing that you and your brother kind of spearheaded that? And not only that, I don't know if they talk much about him, but there was a fella in Houston, Mississippi that y'all related to named Tim Evans who played at ICC. And Tim Evans was a monster at running back. And he gave Bruce trouble when he was at Houston, and he gave Northwest trouble when he was at ICC. But seeing now that y'all are creating your own legacy, you creating your own lane, that now you got things branching off of y'all. How does that feel, knowing that y'all are the matriarchs of that? And that's a woman's turn, ain't it? Matriarch. That y'all are
Personally,
y'all creating something now in your own name.
me personally, I always told myself I want to be the blueprint of the family. Like, regardless, I want to be the blueprint. Just like coming up playing sports, I knew I had a chance to do something for myself. And I want to applaud you as well because you took me under your wings. You know what I'm saying? When I was a young buck, you brought me into your atmosphere at PTW. You got me lifting, and I applaud you because
You
the
just didn't
lift,
take your protein.
that too. But at the end of the day, the lifting that we did, like it molded my body into doing things that I never thought my body could do. You get what I'm saying? And by that, it's just I just wanted to leave a blueprint to my sister and to my little cousin. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew they were gonna come up and want to play ball, and I just wanted to let them see, hey, y'all can do it just like I'm doing it, even better. You know what I'm saying? And I applaud both of them. You know what I'm saying? My sister getting her second ring at Northwest. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Now Junebug, he finna get ready to go to East Mississippi, get ready. You know what I'm saying? Attack that, and like I tell them, man, just attack the journey, enjoy it, because you only get one shot at it. You get what I'm saying?
You being a North, and we're gonna transition to Coach Benji on the college question, but you being a Northeast Tiger, how does it feel that Junebug is going to East Mississippi? Because I know how I felt when y'all boys went to Northeast. Me being a Northwest Ranger, me being a Ranger. You see, my nephews didn't let me down. Danielle and Justin, they played at Northwest. They did their uncle good. They did them right. They did. They went to Northwest Ranger up. But you and Shy and Shaq Bush
And Jonathan Bobo.
and Jonathan Bobo went to Northeast, our rival. How does it feel that now, because it's going to come to a time that Junebug, because you got me, you sent me some daggum Northeast shorts that I still got to this day.
Well, you want them.
I
You
don't wear
want
them.
them.
I don't wear them in public. I don't wear them in public. I use them after I use the bathroom. I put them on.
Oh,
Just in
so
case,
that's how you doing it. So that's
yeah,
how
just
you
in case
doing
I
it.
didn't wipe good enough. But
Okay. All right.
but
All
what
right.
happens when Junebug sends that East Mississippi line T-shirt to Cousin Tay? Is Cousin Tay wearing the East Mississippi shirt?
Negative. Won't do it. Pride too big for that. But
Hey, gear is gear, man.
pride too big for that. I'm a Tiger for life. Honestly, I had an offer from Northwest coming out of high school, but they just wanted me to play defensive back, and I couldn't
We
do
would
it.
have got you to. We would have got you to receiver eventually, man. You
I
got to be
couldn't do.
patient, man. You
I
should have
couldn't
talked
do
to me. You should have talked to me before that, man.
it.
I tell you.
My dog Cole Macon, man, the head coach at ICC, he came down, he offered me. He said they want me for DB, but no, but Bug though, I told him do his whole recruiting process. Man, take your time, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? You'll know what's home. You will know what's home. Like the guys that stay consistent with you, all of them was consistent. I was there with them. You know what I'm saying, on the in-house visit, listen, asking questions. He just felt like E Mississippi was the better option for him, and like I told him, hey, get ready now, cause buddy, he mean business.
He
He
different. He
he,
different.
he different.
He
I said,
different.
but your mind's strong enough you can handle that type. I said, but that's him. What I said, but
But
that's not just him. That's any coach.
but
Any
you know
coach.
what? You know what, Tato? I haven't heard one former player. Not I'm not talking about the one that was disgruntled and left. I haven't heard one former player say anything bad about Buddy.
He's not a bad person.
It's just everybody on the outside because we see what we see. But I started looking at, man, you got his former players coming back to coach with him. You don't hear no former coach talk about. So maybe the optics don't look good, but maybe he's a better guy than what we think.
Man, Buddy is a great coach, man. If you just look at how the way he carried his program, it's you see why he's still there, regardless. Even though they had a falling off season, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody not being scared of East Mississippi because they beatable now. But at the end of the day, he carried his program the way he carried it, and all his guys fall in line into that program. And but he sent everybody where they need to go. D1, Division Two, wherever you want to go, you going. That's
Yes.
anywhere. You get what I'm saying? As long as you go in and you do the work, and that's the same thing I told Buck. Go in and put the work in. He gonna get you where you need to get to.
Yep. Coach.
Yeah, so we've been discussing the JUCO stuff. So my question to you, like what when you look at your time in junior college before heading off to West Alabama, we know that we've seen, I think a lot of people think, oh, it's just going to play football and going to class and going to study hall. But we've seen, the shows like Last Chance U come out where it's it's a tough environment, competitive environment. You got people trying to bounce back. You got people trying to find their way. What was the most, whether it's on the field, off the field, what out of JUCO prepared you the most to take that next step? And what you could tell kids headed in that direction, hey, you need to be looking for this because this is what you can gain from something like this.
I'm gonna tell y'all this story, and I remember this story to the back of my head. We was in a meeting our freshman year. We was in a meeting. So it's a guy. He was sitting in the corner. He had a all lime green Nike fit on with the hood on. So everybody like, who is this guy? Like, he observing, looking at everything, small details, everything. Find out who it was. Joe Hollywood Horn, Coach Horn. That's my guy. That's that was my mentor of the JUCO level because he went to ICC, did his thing. To have him at junior college at Northeast, including his son Joe Horn Jr. Me, I had a whole lot of talented guys in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Me coming out of high school, two-way guy, but seeing these guys that got the size, that got the skill set, that can run the routes, that knew everything in the arsenal. You know what I'm saying? I'm just now observing to a receiver because I played quarterback my senior year, played defensive back my junior year, sophomore year. Now I'm developing to a receiver. I didn't know the route tree. I didn't know how to run routes. I knew how to run routes, but I didn't know how to run precise routes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that day we was at the end of the training fall camp. We in the meeting room. Cole Smither asked Cole Horn, "Give me your top 10 guys right now. That's who we going with for the fall." He named everybody. Guess who was the last pick? I was the last pick.
There you go.
So that gave me that motivation to be like, he sees something in me. You know what I'm saying? He see
Right.
potential. So one day after practice, man, when I say he took me through there and back, I ran the route tree from the 5 all the way down to the 100. Turn back around, do it again. So I'm running routes without a football.
Mm,
Running routes without a football. Now
that's what.
every time I get it, he tell me give me a 10-yard burst and come right back. All the way down. You get what I'm saying? That right there molded me right there how to prepare myself for the next level. You get what I'm saying? Because
Right.
it's gonna take that one coach to believe in you. Once that one coach believe in you, not everything finna come out of you. And he brought the dog out of me that I didn't have, that I knew I had in me. He brought it out of me, and that's how I excelled so far my freshman year at Northeast. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even play my first 4 games or 5 games at Northeast. I was on the sideline, didn't even play. But he gave me my opportunity at homecoming against Oklahoma. And that's when I exceeded for 6 catches for 120, 2 tugs on homecoming. Then after that, the next following week, we went to Mississippi Delta. I had 7 catches for 107 in the first half. Next following week after that, ICC, I had 6 catches for 120 and 1 tug. And it just the moldiness that he built in me, you know what I'm saying? The confidence that he built in me. So
Did you
that's
feel
what
it as did you feel it as like this was a building thing and it just finally clicked, or was it like all at once? Like once you realized like, hey, this is he's got a plan for me, he's somebody I can buy into, and in that moment it clicked.
it took a process. It took process because like you know, he was trying to give me the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Like he was trying to give everybody else. But he more so did to me privately, you know what I'm saying? Because he knew,
Right.
like, he looked me dead in my head. He said, "You're gonna be one of them guys that gonna excel." He said, "I can see it." And he was right, you know. And I took what he gave me and I applied it on and off the field. So
Gotcha. Speaking of, you listed off sounded like some great performances there at your time at Northeast. Just your college experience overall, is there one play, performance as a whole game, a moment in time? What sticks out? What's one that just really sticks out, and you'll be years down the road that'll always come back to your mind.
man, it gotta be the Sanford game, man. It gotta be the Sanford. Actually it's the Sanford and the Valdosta game. Well, the first is gonna be the Sanford because I scored 4 times that game. Punt return, 2 touchdowns, and I threw one. And just playing against Sanford, a D1 FCS school, it was different because I wasn't used to these type of players. You know what I'm saying? They strong, they physical, technique sound. it's just like that whole game I had to find myself. You know, I was getting frustrated because like I'm known for I can get what I want. You get what I'm saying? But now I gotta figure out how to get what I want. And
Right.
those guys was just that was just technique sound, like all around. And once I got the mojo, the feel of it, when I got the butterflies out, I calmed down. And I just always thought what Coach Warren told me, he's only just take one play. And the one play come and the rest is history. And the one play came when the punt return came. And the rest was history that game. Because I went for 9 for 176 with 2 TDs and a punt return and I threw one.
I was gonna say, we've seen where I think Cam Newton had a game against Ole Miss where he caught a touchdown, threw a touchdown, ran a touchdown.
Dang, coach,
I
why you
don't know
gotta
about
bring
doing it
that up?
though. Well, hey, Bo Wallace did it too against Auburn.
Oh yeah,
Ole Miss did it too. But I think it's got to be pretty cool that you score. Not only are you scoring, you're throwing on offense, you're receiving on offense, but you also make that impact on special teams. I think that's just shows how that's solidifying when you're that versatile in that many aspects of the game. It just kind of solidifies yourself. So I mean, four touchdowns is hard to do, and then to do it in a game at that level, and like you said, having to figure out how to get yours, uh, that's just it's an impressive story. Um, so, and this is something I'm curious uh to get your take on. Uh, we're in a new era of college football. Um, we have the transfer portal, we have NIL, and that was, I guess that's a few years after your time is when that kind of rolled out. As a former player, I just want your overall thoughts on the portal itself, and how do you think it's changed college football? Has it changed it for the better? Has it changed it for the worse? Do you think we need more structure? Just what's your overall take on this era that's still pretty new? It's not an old era. We're still learning it and figuring it out as we go.
Me personally, I feel like it changed the game for right now because now players not playing for money. They want money now. Back then, you wasn't playing for money. You playing for I'm trying to make it.
An opportunity.
I'm trying to prove myself that I belong where I need to belong to. Now is you know they playing for that, but now it ain't like it was. Like you can see when folks really deal out there, like getting it in, like compared to like you. Now you don't even see no intention, no personal foul no more. You don't see nobody bucking up in each other's face no more. I'm getting paid now. Why they do all that? I'm getting
Right.
paid. Back then,
Right.
you known for seeing somebody yawn. You yapping. You yapping. Now you better see yapping now. Because now they getting paid. You
Yeah.
different. They getting paid. So why I need to yap when I'm getting paid? I'm getting paid every month now. This every month I'm getting paid. So why I need to yap for? Win, lose, or draw, I'm still getting paid.
Right.
Now back then, when you losing, the next game you coming out feisty. Coming out feisty. You ready to prove a point? Like, nah. That was last week. This a new week this week. This a new person. This a new player. So I feel like the NIL, you know what I'm saying, it's great, but it traumatized a lot of kids now because now a lot of kids not putting in the work now. They start from high schools to JUCOs. A lot of kids not putting in the work. I'm not saying they not putting it in, but now with money involved, you can see like why I need to put this work in if they gonna pay me. I just put the
Right.
work in when I get there. No, you already a step behind. You
I've
already a
been
step behind.
really I feel you. I've been curious on former players' perspectives on it. Uh, I'm with you. I think that the players absolutely deserve to go get what's theirs. You're
Right.
there benefiting that school, making that school money. I absolutely agree. I just worry about if you would have and you could say what you want here, but if I was young again and just walked into a bunch of money, I don't know if I would have had that same desire either. I hadn't thought about it from that perspective. That's a good take there. So
It's just like I saw Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State receiver. They offered him 10 million.
10 million, 10 million,
And he said he didn't come here for that. So that
and that
means he's still stuck on the old ways. Like I'm here to play ball.
I had a conversation with MD, Coach MD. It was sometimes early part of last year, and I asked him that question. I said, since they're getting paid, why should they even focus on the NFL? Now, this is me saying it because, I'm on the outside looking in. They getting paid money. Ain't that the whole plan? I come to get paid.
Right.
And MD said something that I taken with me. He said that NFL money lasts a little bit longer than that. You get hurt here, you're done. And it dawned on me, like he was just telling me, even though the money looks good, you're trying to get security. And the NFL is the only place you can do that in, because just like coaching, it's a year-to-year thing in college. They might give you $1 million now. Don't perform.
You out of there.
Don't perform.
You out there.
Opposed to on signed this 4-year deal worth $37 million, and 25 guaranteed. You finna give me my 25 whether I perform or not.
It's a legal and binding document.
Right.
So I mean, and I wonder, like I said, like Coach said, with former players, I do wonder how they feel about it. I think one of the NBA's biggest, like the NBA, former players, I think they're upset of the money that's being given out to players now. That's where you get all the Charles Barkley hate and all of the Shaq hate. I think it's stemming off, because right now, I just read the other day that Anthony Edwards will be eligible for 80. He finna be eligible for a super max contract that will pay him $82 million a year. Basically $1 million a game.
Wow.
Come on now.
$1 million. You don't think somebody that now ain't won no championship, ain't won no MVP, ain't won no scoring title, haven't been on the first team All NBA, and is about to get $82 million a year? That's why that gal didn't want to sign that child support
You
thing.
Wouldn't be able to tell me nothing.
Sign it either. No, he's finna get paid. I'm finna get paid too. I don't want his money now. I want his money later.
Man.
Hey, what was your welcome to college football moment? What happened to be like, ooh, this ain't high school no more?
Fall counter freshman year. I running with the twos. We get out there. Our defensive line coach, his name Coach Jackson. He had RP to my guy. His name Jamel Dennis. Man, he had passed away. You know what I'm saying? He was a state trooper, but that's my former classmate. He was playing Rover at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I lined up in the slot. So I get the call. He said timeout. This before the ball even snapped. He said timeout. He said if you don't jam him to sleep, you will not play on my defense. So I'm laughing like he ain't finna do this. Like, no. Ball snap. He grabbed me like this. He turned me about 5 yards the other way. So I get up, I look. Everybody just walk back to the huddle. I said, oh, this type of party. Okay. Oh, okay. This type of party. But that was my welcome to college football. That's when I knew then, like, yeah, weights is mandatory. It is mandatory. Even though I still didn't do it, but it was mandatory. But that was my welcome to college football.
Well, a lot of people don't know that college football wasn't the end of your career. You did a brief stint in the Canadian League, and you really cut your teeth in the Arena League. Kind of talk about those times and what you went through. And I was there with the bull crap that happened with the Canadian League. But tell us about that time and everything that went on.
With the Canadian, with Saskatchewan, man, that was a great opportunity for me. Like, for me to even get that opportunity, I was blessed, because after my pro day, even though you got mad at me because I didn't want to bench 225, I mean, I felt like I didn't need to showcase that, because I showcased everything else. 10-3 on a broad, 4-2-1, 5-10-5, a 6-7 in the L drill, and I had a low 4-5, so I felt like I was that's what I need to showcase the benching for. But getting the opportunity just to get to the CFL, like it was an honor, because when I got there at mini camp, I was lost. Like, the playbook was so thick, like that thick, and I had to know that by the end of the week. It was hard. It's hard going from signals. Now you gotta learn this, you gotta learn that. Then on top of that, then you got high motion. That was really throwing it off because you got 3 people coming in motion and you gotta know where everybody going. So that was my biggest task was learning the playbook out there. Then just understanding like the knowledge and the concept of that game. You get what I'm saying? Then just by signing the contract was fulfilling. You get what I'm saying? That was really like molding me to like, wow, like I made it. You know. Then after training camp, did my thing. Then I got released. So I knew the business aspect of that. You get what I'm saying? Then I proceeded to go to the rental league, play 4 years in that. 2 with Nebraska Dangers, 2 with Arizona Rattlers, and I had 1 with San Diego Strike Force. So be able to adjust from outdoors to indoors. I really didn't like the indoor because it was too small. I had no space. But after I got familiar with the alignment and the width of the game, I enjoyed it and I embraced it. And I tell kids now, like, don't sleep on the indoor. You know what I'm saying? You still can get out. I saw a lot of guys play 2 games and went to the league. Like one of my other former teammates, his name Nick Holly from Nebraska Rangers. He came in when I came in. He only played 2 games. He had 11 tackles one game. He had 6 tackles with 2 picks. Next day he was going with the Los Angeles Rams, just like that. So it's always opportunities out here. You just got to keep it going. You got to keep it pushing. Uh, that's the most best familiar dream for me. You know what I'm saying? Just making it out. You know what I'm saying? And just having that on my resume.
Well, and very, very few have that on their resume. I know you brought up the Rattlers, and I think there is another county in that's a Rattler legend. Uh,
Otis
Otis, Otis, what is his last name?
Armstrong.
Here we go again. Here we go. That name again. That name again. But he's a Rattler legend. What would you say? Because in today's time, with you got travel ball with baseball. I know you travel a lot. Your son been playing travel ball. I know since he was little fella, and you got AAU basketball now, and it's with football. It's not really no outside of camps. What would you say to a parent that want their kid to be on that level, but either can't afford all of that stuff? My son, and I talked to my wife a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I said CJ is a person that he works on his stuff. Like, he don't go to the court just to shoot. He go to the court. I've saw him stay out there hours just dribbling right-handed or left-handed or doing one move for almost 30 minutes. So he has the mentality to do that. But he's playing travel ball in the 8th grade. With me, at first I was like, I don't, 8th grade, I don't know what coaches are telling kids. That's another show for another day. But what do you tell a parent? Because I think people sleep on the knowledge that is around them. With you, even Trail to an extent. I mean, he did play 4 years of football. I know I lean on him when I was coaching here when me and Benny was coaching. I would send stuff to Trail. I would lean on you because I knew y'all know. What would you tell a parent of a kid that you see that's going to have, potentially going to be decent in football? What do you say to them? How do you motivate, or not motivate, but how would you advise them on how to move in that situation?
With the AU, I mean, you got a lot of pros, you know what I'm saying, that coming down doing that. You know what I'm saying, giving back to the youth. Keep them at it. Keep it going. Of course, you're gonna hear the negative critics. AAU is not this, is not that. You just wasting your money. No, you getting experience. You playing against the elite kids. You get what I'm saying? 8th grade, 9th grade. You playing against some elite kids. So that will be able to slow that game down completely. You know what I'm saying? Get them to know their spots. Get them to know their comfort zone. Get them to build their confidence up. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like you just keep them in that drive phase where they at. and just elevate them more. You get what I'm saying? That's how I see it in that aspect of AAU. You get what I'm saying? Just like with my son, when they travel ball, they don't play kids their age. They play advanced kids who throwing about 65, 70 right now. You get what I'm saying? Because they get out there and lose confidence? No. Because they coaches build their confidence up. Like, you guys, you can play with these guys. And that's how it is with the AAU, like with CJ, you know what I'm saying, with y'all son. Like, keep him motivated, you know what I'm saying? Because he's going to be great, man. I gonna saw he kills. He can shoot the cover off for it now. He can shoot the cover off for it. Just keep him going, keep him active, and he gonna build off that confidence. The more that y'all support him, the more y'all push him to excel at it, the more that confidence is gonna build. That's what my advice would be to a parent that pushing their kids at the AAU aspect or travel ball or anything.
Well, Coach, man, hey, man, this has been. We definitely got to do a part two. We definitely got to do a part two because it's some deeper things we wanted to go into, but we definitely go we're gonna double back around, Tay. We got to come back and we got to get a part two. We got to let the public know. We got to let the people know why there's not a side door in the weight room anymore at Bruce High School. People need to know that. They need to know why there's not a side door in the weight room no more. But man, we definitely gonna double back with it, man. Tay, man, I'm telling you, this has been cool. It's been cool. We've been around each other a long time, but usually when we're around each other, um, we just we're moving and trying to get stuff done, even in our conversation. But to sit down and talk and to hear the process has enlightened me. Has really showed me some stuff that knowing what you went through. Because most of the time, we don't really. We're dealing with you in trail. I didn't know what y'all went through. I just try to be there to clean it up or to fix it up or to put it up. And you don't know what the process behind that. So, man, definitely appreciate you coming on with us. And we got to double back because we got to go into it's some stories that we got to tell this next time. We got to tell some stories next time. We got to tell the story about how you treated a junior high game like the national championship. We got to tell the story, man. We got to tell the story.
You put me in that situation, man. You put me in that situation. Oh man, that was like the most. I'll never forget that moment, Benji. We
I,
both we both at it. Like, I'm telling him to do this. He said, "Nah, we ain't doing it." I'm like, "Hey, if we do this, it's gonna happen." He said, "All right, cool, we'll do it," and it happened. Man, when the boy laid it up at the buzz, I jumped out there like we won a national championship. I ain't lying, bitch.
junior high game.
A junior high game.
Hey, a win is a win. It don't matter.
Dang. It just, and I just appreciate you for even just giving me that experience, just to soak it all in with you. You get what I'm saying? Because that's my main goal is to get on on that level of
Yeah.
coaching. And for have that for real moment with you, just and we both looking at it now and can laugh about it. Man, it's just unreal, man. I got a question for you and Benji.
All right.
Uh, I know y'all guys done y'all research on me, on my background throughout my years. I know me and Benji played together. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna start with Benji first. Benji, did you see me excelling the way I was going to excel after leaving high school? You know what I'm saying? From high school to Northeast to West Isle, or to even making to the pros. Did you see that I was gonna advance to where I'm supposed to advance?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'll say it like this because this will go back to one of the first quotes we got from you earlier about the competition aspect of how I think that time period, especially I know Calhoun City's having a lot of recent success and stuff, but I think that time period of Bruce athletics was hyper competitive.
Yeah.
So not only like did you see it? Did we see it in Tae Armstrong? But we knew Tae Armstrong had the potential because he was facing up, you know, other great athletes like Shaq Bush, Rashad Turner, Latrell Marks, Jonathan Bobo, Deshaun Tillman, so on and so on and so on. I think you're a product of the environment and the coaching that you got, and I had no doubts. Once we had found out that you were, headed to Northeast and then on to West Alabama and stuff, I absolutely saw it. I think that like I remember the PTW training stuff back in the day. I just think that was a different time with special athletes, and I think you obviously were one of those guys. So yeah, absolutely.
Same question for me.
Yeah.
It's for me. That's too easy because I was there in the process. I saw the work ethic. One thing that people don't get to see, and it's something that even when kids come to me now, got a young man right now saying, "Coach, I want to train with you this summer," and I always reference, them guys. One thing I can say about you is what you went through because I was rough on them. I wasn't light on them. I made them do things. I made them uncomfortable. Um, Even when they went to college, I made them lunge so much that he was prepared because they changed. What did y'all change? Strength and conditioning coach or something?
Yeah.
And he went to lunge and he said, "Well, crap, I'm good at this now." But we lunged so much in a summer that Tay was tired of lunges. But the mentality and the thing is, um, it wasn't no shock to me that you did what you did because I saw the process. For most people, people don't see the process in people. They don't see the work that they do. They don't see. That's why even now, I know you're trying to get on this level. And I've said this to Benji, and I told you a couple of times. I don't think you and Trail, both y'all are not built for high school. Y'all are college coaches. You're professional coaches. The knowledge that you have, even with my wife, oldest son, who just signed with Northeast, and he signed to play receiver, and he asked me, I said, and I'm glad you brought up how you did the route tree without no ball. Well, Benji, he would come home and I don't know if my elbow can even do this now, but I would have to throw him 100 routes. And then after that, he want to run 50 more routes. I'm ready to go home now. First of all, my elbow is on fire of throwing him routes. And then he waits to the end to want to run a go route. I can't even make it reach now. And then after that, he wants to run 50 what I call blind routes to where he's not getting the ball. And I'm sitting there watching somebody who done made it doing stuff like this. And that's one reason that I still, when I see kids now and I don't see that, I don't try to take a kid's passion away. But if I don't see the Tay in you, then it's hard for me to stamp it. Probably one of the best Olympic lifters that I've still come in contact with. Like I was consulting you so I could learn how to do it. Power clean, snatch, hang clean. Tae Armstrong probably the best one, and he's the best one I've seen do it. And the work ethic and the things that you did on the field and how you even now, the passion for the game, I keep telling y'all that y'all are built for that college game. Y'all are built for a level that where, let's just be real. High school is entitlement. You need me. You got a lot more you need me on the field. That percentage is a little bit lower in college. And, guys like you, really, you need me end up with you like this. You got somebody like this, and it's just the point that I saw, and it's probably unfair to kids now that I try to train and work with, but if I don't see the Tay, and the reason why I don't put Trail in it, Trail was my son. He had no choice. Tay had a choice. He could have said, "I ain't gonna do this. I'm gonna go home, get with Papa so I can get my footwork done." But I could have. Tay, he could have chose at any moment that I ain't got to do this. I ain't got to do this. He could have leaned on his name. He could have did, but you chose to be there. You chose to stay in that. So if I don't see that in kids, that's why you don't see all the videos that we do. You don't see people saying they untrained with me because I'm very particular that if I don't see that trait, I don't waste my time. And there's nothing against kids. I want kids to grow. I want kids to be there. But I'm at an age now that I don't waste my time. And if I don't see that Tay gene, that I don't see, like what people didn't understand, and this is what people don't understand now. They didn't work out with me and counted that as the football workout. I would not work with them if they didn't go to morning workouts. That was part of workouts. They did morning workouts. They did afternoon workouts with me, and then they did evening workouts with me. This was 5 days a week in the summer. What kid you know right now will be on the square running routes, or in the middle where that parking way is running sprints? They did it. They did it. Right? Everybody driving by. They did it. They running around the square. They did it because I needed to stay close to my gym, so that's why I wasn't at football field. So we made do of what we had. There's not very many kids that do that, and that's why you making it wasn't a surprise to me. It didn't shock me. It wasn't no, and even when and I'm gonna say this, Benji, he got mad at me because I wouldn't train him for the pro day, and the only reason that I wouldn't, I said, I've taken you where I know I could get you. You need to get with somebody that can get you over that. And I think at first he saw it as me just, man, you gonna roll with me this far, now you just gonna throw me away.
No,
But
what I thought.
It wasn't that. Is that I don't want to cheat him because my knowledge is where he at now. That's all I know. I remember your uncle came to me, Tyrone came to me. Man, I need you. I said, Tyrone, we need to find somebody that know that level so he can get to that level. I don't need him doing stuff that got him to college. We're not trying to be in college no more. And once he got there, and it was hard. It was hard to do that because I was like, man, it's like watching somebody that you helped grow, and then now you walk away from it. Like, this joker finna cash in, and my name ain't gonna get mentioned. I ain't finna get nothing out of this. I said, well, he better wear that PTW shirt at draft date. I know that.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
So it wasn't a shock to me, and your talent, and we don't see this a lot. Your talent did not exceed your work ethic. Usually, it's low talent people with high work ethics. And it's it's higher talent with low work ethics, where your talent was lower than your work ethic. And your talent was great. Your pedigree was great. But you trained like you were a one-star player. And I think that made the difference. And a lot of people don't see that because you're so passionate about it. People take your advice as hating. Oh, he just hating on him because he getting to do. No, because you don't know what he had already been there. You ain't even got to his level. It's almost like the same thing I said about Lane Kiffin and LSU that, you got to make it to the semifinal or it was a bust. If Tae is telling you something and you ain't even caught 2 passes in college, maybe you ought to listen to him because he's been an all-conference on high school. He's been All-American in JUCO. He's been All-American in Division II, and he's played on a professional level. But nowadays kids don't really, unless you did it on TikTok, they don't know. They don't know. So yeah, it wasn't no shock to me. It was pretty much. I'm not gonna say a fulfillment because I still think to this day that you still had too much gas in the tank. But I get it. You got tired of, and I got tired of people playing around, not doing what they're supposed to do, and that stuff will wear you out. And, to see you, I ain't going to say suffer, but to see you keep laboring and people playing around. But I knew it was still a lot of gas in the tank. And even to this day, I still think you can go out there and at least give 2 more years.
It's been a thought. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a thought, especially the USF. It's been a thought. It's been a thought now. Now I was gonna hit you behind the scene. Hey, can we get back to it? Get back to it.
You see, I'm still there. So hey.
Oh, another thing, man. Another thing I applaud myself on because then and you can vouch for this as well. My guy. I don't brag on myself enough. You know, I don't, because I let my resume speak for it. I let y'all speak for it. I let my granddad speak for it. But this is what the eye opening that I tell these kids. I caught 165 passes in a year and a half at West Ave. That's my own record. I got my own record, and I'm second all time right now with 177 at West Ave. I ain't played but 2 years there. Well, a year and a half, basically a year and a half. So I tell kids that to try to motivate them to and be like, hey, go get it. Like I tell them, my record still stands to this day. It's about to be 10 years. And nobody came there close to it. So I'm still
in a throwing league.
And I said I'm grateful for that. Like, I got my own record. You know what I'm saying? I got my own record in Northeast. I had 300 some out return yards.
Yeah, it was
Something
3,
like that.
which was unprecedented at the time. You had 3. I think I had it wrote down. It was 3. It was 338, I think.
You know, that's in a single game. You know, so I try to give some of my accomplishment, acknowledgement to kids so they can be like, I want to be like that. You know, but like you said, most people think I'm trying to hate them. I don't. I'm not trying. I'm trying to help build your confidence.
No, I'm
You
gonna talk
know?
my talk. A powerlifter come up to me, I say, you better Google my name. You better. I say, well, I ain't got time to prove. When they get to talking, I say, Google my name, put powerlifting behind it, and then come back and talk to me. I said, I didn't go buy these trophies at the store. So no, sometimes you gotta let people know, because people think one thing that they use against me, and Coach Ben Johnson seen it, is that, well, he didn't play football. How can he coach? Not understanding I know the game. I chose not to play football. Because once I made basketball, I got tired of getting hit. Oh, how he coaching basketball? They don't know I quit in the 10th grade like a dummy in February when the season about over with. But that's what people always use against me is when things don't go their way with their folks. He didn't play. He didn't play. How can he coach? How can he do this? How can he do that? But then in the thing that I do know, they still critical. So that's when I learned I was a power lifter at the top. I was a top level power lifter in the world, not just Mississippi, not just the nation. I was number 12 in the world in 181. My total was the number 12 total in the world. So I've been there, and they still critical of me. So that's when I learned, man, forget them folk. Teach them that you got, teach them that's coming up, and give them the knowledge. That's one way. That's one thing I always told y'all. I don't charge kids, even when they was in high school. I don't charge kids. I said the only thing I want you to do is come back and give it back. Come back and give it back. It don't have to be Bruce. Wherever you go, come back and give it back. And I applaud you because a lot of them guys that signed was under your tutelage in your training program. A lot of them guys that signed. So you did exactly what I asked you to do. And a lot of them guys that signed was under your tutelage for 2 years under your training program. So, hey, that right there say a lot.
I learn from you. You know, I try to learn from you. You know, in that aspect. You know, so like now, folks still ask me to this day, do I charge? I say no, because I don't feel like I should charge. Like, the knowledge I got was for free as well. So why I won't give it back for free? It's up to you to use it, to take advantage of it. I took advantage of it, so why you don't take advantage of it? And that's one thing I applaud Junebug for. But I'm his biggest critic. I'm gonna tell him it's raw like it is. Tell him raw like it is. Just like I told Shane, Trey, I told them all on raw like it is. This not gonna cut it on the next level. This ain't gonna cut it. What y'all doing now is not gonna cut it. You gotta start training now as a college athlete. You gotta start walking now in a college athlete shoe. Because you're gonna be more than what 4 o'clock workout. Maybe 3 o'clock workout. One time we had a military workout. I cussed the military folks out. I ain't lying. That's how bad I was. I'm not lying. I cussed the military folks out. I ain't lying. That's how bad, because they had us doing stuff to make us feel uncomfortable. And I wasn't known from doing stuff with uncomfortable. Like, we rolling, we doing military workouts.
Yeah.
They talking to you like you military. And you know me, I was a hothead back then, so I wasn't going for none of that.
But I
When
will say this: not one time, and this is on the record. Everything that everybody else saw, he never done that to me one time. Not one time did he ever disrespect me, talk back to me. Not one time. And I can stamp that even to this day. Now I have to thump him on the head because he'll cuss every now and then. Now I have to, hey boy. And he'll say I'm sorry, and then he'll cuss again 3 sentences later. But not one time that everybody else saw, I never saw it. It never happened under my watch. I mean, with me. So, kudos to all that. We definitely, Coach, we're going to have to label this Tae Armstrong Part 1 because we're going to have to do a Part 2.
Sounds good to me.
sounds good to me, man.
So, hey, the only way I know to end this show, well, end this interview, is with the one sound that you made famous.
Man, you funny for that, man. I'm glad y'all guys brought me on tonight. It's an honor. I'm blessed to be with y'all guys tonight, man. Definitely
Thanks
looking
for
for
coming.
Part 2, man.
Yeah, let's give
Yes,
it up,
sir.
Mr. Armstrong. Tay, man, appreciate you, brother. We are going to double back with this for Part 2. Let's give it up for Tae Armstrong, man. We'll catch you on the next one, Tay. Appreciate you,
Thank you,
brother.
man.
Appreciate y'all, man.